We're back. We're back. Fight Addicts TV. My man Steve Townsel in the house. We got to talk about it because he had a big knockout victory at BKFC 26. My man's on fire. He's ready to go. So I'm going to bring Steve up right now because we got to get right into it. Steve.
Thanks for having me, Brett. Yo, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, brother. It's about time. I think it's long overdue, man. We had to have this conversation, bro. And I'm excited for you, man. You know, I seen you transition from BYB to BKFC. You made some improvements in your game, your training, bro, your physique. You could even see it, bro. You're just transforming before, everybody's eyes, man. And I think it's great. And obviously, you proved it, at BKFC 26 with a comeback performance too, man. I love those kind of fights because it's like, it's like a Rocky fight, man. You get dropped, but you come back up. You show that heart, that intensity, that hard work. What was going through your mind during that fight, man? I just want to get right into that.
Well, first of all, everybody keeps calling it a comeback, man. I feel like I was winning that fight the whole time, man. He caught me a few good times. I mean, you get hit, it wasn't enough to keep me down. But I kept telling myself, man, be calm. Composure is everything, man. If you can maintain composure through the fray, then you're liable to come out on top,
Yeah, Brian, man, look, we got this ferocious picture right here, man.
Yeah, that's
man,
a good
Phil
one.
Lambert killing it with these pictures, bro. I mean, that's just badass right there.
Yeah, that was one of the good solid lefts, man. He caught a few lefts. That kid's tough as nails, man, because I cut him flush a couple good times, man, and he just kept popping back up.
Yeah, it was a great fight, man. I thank God I caught the tail end of it because we were doing an interview, and I'm always trying to make sure I get over there quick. But Lorenzo Hunt, Mike Richmond got a little thing going on, so they're like, they kind of let's do something. But I caught the end of that fight. It was great, man. And I seen you. I saw you fight at BYB, man. I've been following you. I saw you. That was over there.
I started my career at the beginning of the year with bare knuckle. This is my fourth bare knuckle for the year. And you were there for the very first, the second. I mean, you've been there for actually all of them, man. So it's cool that I'm here doing the podcast with you, man.
Yeah, man. I think it's great, man. I watch everybody very closely. Obviously, I follow you on the gram, and I like to see people, how they work, the different things that they do. I love seeing the posts and stuff because it's showing you're putting the work in. It's not only for you, but it's inspiring for a lot of other people too out there that are, So I was like, yo, my man Steve's looking good, bro. My man's working out. He's like, it's intense. I mean, I don't know how your training is and how you've always trained, but what I could see, it's like that perception. I could see a change. There's a transition going on. Do you think that has a lot to do with your team out in Miami?
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with the team. A lot of it has to do with just wanting to grow. We stop ourselves a lot of the times, man. We get in our own ways so much. Like I said, my ego didn't allow me not to go down there. I went down there, man. The team down there is just absolute. I mean, listen to the team: Luis Palomino, Gustavo, Tyler Goodjohn, being coached by El Tigre. Like this is all world-class fighters, man. When I say fighters, even the coach is a 5-time world champion. So when you surround yourself with people like that, man, you're gonna, be great. As long as you can maintain and keep doing everything that they got going, you push each other. Man, it's just the energy is phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. And as soon as I went down there, I didn't feel like I was in hostile territory. Man, I felt at home. They did a really good job of making me feel that way in Miami. I mean, it's Miami, bro. It's fucking beautiful.
It is, man. Miami is a cool spot, man. Whenever I go down to Miami, I'm about an hour north of Miami. Whenever I go down there, do interviews. I mean, me and Palomino did an exclusive interview at the Fifth Street Gym. I've been down there multiple times, and it's like everybody welcomes me with open arms, man. Everybody's so friendly. The culture down there is great, man. It's just a positive vibe in Miami, bro. You can't beat it.
No, and it's really, I mean, it's built itself to be one of the fight meccas of Florida. Like you go down there and there's boxing gyms, MMA gyms, jiu-jitsu gyms. I mean, there's a plethora of gyms down there, man. And the communities is super tight and super strong. it's just I can't see myself doing anything different than what I've been doing. I was down there for only 9 weeks, and I felt everything change. My movement, just the way I conditioned, and I packed my shit, man. I quit my job and I moved to Miami. I mean, that was the real gist of it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm 42 years old, man. I've got 4 daughters, and I tell my kids all the time, it's like, hey, man, you know, you can be whatever you want. You just gotta want to be it. You gotta want it bad enough, And the this fight popped up, and I was a Friday. I spoke to Gustavo, and he's like, man, I know you got a fight coming up. Why don't you come down here? We'll talk to T today. We'll work it out. We'll do camp. You push me, I'll push you. It'll be great. We'll get the win. Saturday, I made a phone call, put my 2 weeks in. Monday, I was down in Miami. Um, I actually lived down there in a gym, So I lived where Luis Ortiz trains at. Man, it's a super, super dope boxing gym. The guys there were super amazing. Um, and I mean, I woke up, stepped out into a gym, did strength and conditioning with Gustavo in the morning time, did my regular one-on-one coaching with El Tigre, did sparring with Gustavo and a couple of the other guys that are there. And every night was a running night, whether we're running for a 20, 30 minute straight or we're doing track sprints. And we did all that
I've
stuff
seen some of
together.
that. I've seen that. That's like a constant thing. Y'all on the track doing your thing, running, sprinting. I see it, man. That's what
That was,
Palomino and Good John as well
yeah,
out there.
that's something that I think that was set because once you start running, you can kind of run forever because now you're pacing yourself. But when you've got that sprint going in and you've got like pads in between, I mean, it just changes the dynamic of a cup. And I've always had shitty cardio and conditioning. Like I said, I told somebody I'm a first round fighter. I want to get in, get out, be done. Um, Man, I felt super confident going in this fight, being able to fight all 5 rounds if I had to. And like I said, I can't see myself doing anything different. I definitely found home away from home, possibly relocating. I mean,
So where you
you
from
know,
originally? You're from Northern Florida?
I'm from Fort Pierce, Florida. I mean, it's a
Pierce.
little bitty space. Yeah, it's not far from Palm Beach, Martin County, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce. Um, Small little city, man, but I love my city. I love where I'm from, and they love me. So, where I'm off the coast, I'm off the water. Um,
That's cool that you moved down to to Miami. And I gotta give you credit, man. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to just put you 2 weeks in and say this is what I'm gonna do. You can make the big move. Do you also work a job as well, or is this a full time thing for you?
I worked a job. So, all right, here you go. I've worked a job forever. I worked multiple jobs. I also I'm a single father, so I have my daughters. One of my daughters 100% of the time. The other two I have every other week. So I mean, I did a full time job and played full time dad. And I'd wake up, take my kids to school, go to work, come home, make sure homework's done, feed the kids, and then I'd go train. So my hours used to be differently. Now that I'm able to, or I've kind of advanced in what I'm doing and stuff, I have to make the sacrifices um, to excel. So now, like I said, they were with their mom down here. I'd go home on the weekends. I'd hit home Friday, Saturday, Sunday, drop them off at school on Monday, and then I'd go back to Miami. Um, but as of right now, man, I'm doing this thing full time, and I'm doing it all on the faith and knowing that I'm going to make something happen along the way, and so far it's working for me, like I said, so far I went down there, I did everything I needed to do for camp. I showed up to the fight, did everything I needed to do then. Um, it's been about a week and a half now, and I'm doing the things I got to do to continue to make this thing continue to happen. But I mean, how do you compete with 25, 30-year-old guys that don't have a job, do this full time, this is their life, you know
That's true.
so I mean, I need to make the sacrifices while I can, because otherwise, I'm gonna live with regrets, And who wants that? No one wants to live a if a coulda, shoulda, woulda life, And
That's
I
right, brother.
recommend to anybody that's living that life right now, man, take the dive. Be a little uncomfortable doing what you want to do. It's gonna pay off. You got to know it's gonna. And if it doesn't actually get the results you wanted, it's gonna get you a result. It's gonna let you know where you're at and the things that you could have done differently, but at least you did it.
That's right.
And then
I tell
so
people that a lot. Like it's like for me at least. I can only speak for myself, but I do some motivational speaking too. But I tell people like for me personally, I walk around with a chip on my shoulder. My mom and dad hate when I say that, but it's true. I do have a chip on my shoulder. I have something to prove, and I have something to prove to myself. I want to see what I'm made of. Period. And I,
yeah, for
and that
sure.
that's why I respect fighters so much, is because there's always something to prove, bro. And it always starts within yourself. You got to put the work in. You got to get up every day, like you said. You working jobs, got kids, full time dad, going to school, taking them to
Uh,
school, going to train in the gym, bro. I give you a lot of respect doing what you're doing, man.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. They do too. My babies see it. I mean, every time I'm winning, you hear me give them a shout out at the end. I tell them I love them. I want them to know that. It's important that they know that I'm proud of them, and I hope they're proud of me. So they're my little reason for everything, man.
That's right, brother. Do you remember where we first met? It was a quick
I
exchange
I do, and it was at the corner of a damn. Listen, we were at the corner of the James L. Knight Center, and you
outside.
told me, listen, and I think I don't know if I lost that fight or I was something. And I'm thinking, he just told me good fight. And I'm like, man, why y'all keep telling me it's a good fight? I lost. So,
Yeah, but it was. Well, I know it was you. It was you and Jordan Mitchell's fight.
yeah, for sure, man. But that's the first time I can actually recall, man. We were on the corner right there in front of the James L. Knight Center, man. Yeah, I remember.
I was with my girl Julianne, and what the fuck were we? I don't know where the hell it was. The day after. It was the morning after. I think we went for
It was
breakfast.
the day after. We were going to Whole Foods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I think that's where we were just coming from, Whole Foods. And we walked up, and that's why I see you walking. I was like, yo, I saw that fight.
Yeah,
I got
man.
to give him his respect, bro. Much respect, bro. The fight
Yeah.
went the way it did, but the way you all
I
showed respect in the ring after the fight, man. I always like seeing that kind of stuff, man.
So this is business, man. I don't hold nothing personal towards anybody, man. As long as no one's like super disrespectful to me or, go to calling out my kids or my family or something, man. This is business. When it's all said and done, we came out to do a job, we do it. And at the end, man, either we have a drink and chop it up or, we just go our separate ways with a handshake. But Jordan was cool, I like Jordan. I would have liked to see him do better at the his last fight. Shit happens. Um, if I would have fought him with different, I just should have been a little more patient, And that's what I learned this fight too, man. Patience and composure really, really makes a fight. But
Oh, we've seen it, especially with bare knuckle because it's not boxing, and I think as
no,
the sport evolves, people started to realize this is its own thing because boxing is just different. You could pace a fight a little differently. Obviously, the rounds are longer, the fights are longer. You got gloves on, you could score your points just by just throwing some jabs, landing some jabs, working some combos. But bare knuckles different. You got to be patient because a jab, and we've seen it with like guys like Quentin Henry, a jab could knock you out, knock you on your ass, could bust you open. So
yeah,
you
man,
got
you're
to
step.
really, we've seen the guys that throw haymakers in there. We've seen what happens there. Somebody either gets knocked out, they both get gassed the hell out. And that's that. So I like the more technical fighters in bare knuckle. Power guys, I love, of course. You land out one big power shot, game over. But it's definitely important in bare knuckle, in BKFC, BYB. It's important to be patient, wait for those
It's
shots.
it's definitely its own sport, man. I come from an MMA background. Um, in the past 2 years, I've been doing a lot of boxing. Trying get my hands up a little bit. But it's its own sport, and you can spar, you can do a bunch of different things, but until you're actually in there and you're realizing that there's less than 3 inches from your fist, there's no big pads to block anything. It's that experience inside there is gonna bring you up and bring you further. And the best offense is almost a defense. And them shots are gonna open up.
Oh yeah, man. We see people break their hands, man. Like my Malinaji and Lobo fought. Malinaji broke his left hand in the second round of that fight. He couldn't fight with his left. It was in the left or right, I can't remember. But he was only fighting with one hand at that point.
Yeah,
Because his fist hit the top of Lobov's head. That was it. Crack. So it could
yeah.
happen, man.
I actually, man, I broke mine on this one. So I've got a boxer fracture at the pinky.
I saw that.
Um,
I was gonna ask you about
yeah.
that.
Man, I go see the regular orthopedic on Friday. Probably cast it up. work around it for about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Do the right thing. This is a sport where you need your hands. Listen to what the doctors say. They're there for a reason. But it's not going to stop anything. I mean, there's always something else you could be working on. I've got a bunch of weaknesses that this will give me the opportunity to work on, to be honest. We're so concentrated on throwing punches and working bags and handwork, but there's just so many other aspects of this game, footwork, core work, just more conditioning. I've never been so confident in my conditioning in my life. Like I said, just going into a fight knowing that your cardio and your conditioning is good
Game changer.
changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, that's I go Friday. I'm probably gonna get casted up. At least that's what I'm already thinking in my head. Um, Take it for what it is. Continue to work. There's just a bunch of other things that you could be doing while you can't do that. So I can't throw a left too. I can't. Okay. There's a million other things. My jab's gonna be superb. I'm a southpaw, anyways.
Oh, me too, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Southpaw power, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you what? And then I know you said you come from MMA background. What made you decide to go bare knuckle that route? Did you see it on TV? Saw a fight? You're like, yo, I want to check that out. Did you know somebody did it? Like, how did that come about for you?
I got a close friend of mine, man. It's Luis or Carlos Lopez, man. He fought at
Oh yeah.
BYB. Yeah, this is like it's one of my training partners, even from MMA. We're both local guys. He slid his way off into the BYB. Had Donnie Bush as well. Um,
Okay. Yep.
Both these guys come, from MMA backgrounds with bare knuckle on the verge and everything popping off. It was an opportunity. I went and cornered him in his second fight. And I seen, the environment, how it was. I was like, man, this could be it. And it takes, so I didn't start fighting until I was 35. I played football until I was 35. I was 285 pounds the first time I ever went to a gym. And,
Wow.
right. So I never had any training, no boxing, no karate, no streets, kid shit. So when I was 35, I had a heart attack, man. I
Oh,
flatlined at the hospital. I was just super heavy, man, super, I'm not out of shape, but just just heavier, I guess stressed out a little bit.
and
But it
that's
made
what
me,
caused the heart attack.
yeah, yeah, man,
Wow.
super heavy. And the stress level, man, stress will do a lot of things to your body that you have no idea about.
True that.
Wasn't living crazy, man. Wasn't doing anything out of the way. Like literally was just my weight and stress of life.
Hmm.
Um, from that point, everything kind of changed for me, and I looked at things a little bit different. I felt blessed. I was a lot happier. I enjoyed the smaller things more. But I was done with football. It beat me up too much. I'd play on a Saturday, and I wouldn't roll out of bed right till Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
I was a big guy, but I was going against like real monsters. 335 pounds, 6'6" guys.
you a
Um,
lineman?
yeah, I was a defensive end, defensive tackle, and power out fullback. Loved it. I love the trenches, man. I love it all. It was my first love ever. I started playing football. I was like 9 years old.
Nice.
Um, but I transitioned. So I went to a local fight for MMA, and it was like, man, like this looks fun. It's like it's something I can do. I went to a gym locally and put some gloves on, man. I got beat up. here I am, like I'm thinking I'm a tough guy, just the regular meathead type deal, going to this gym. I got this. Nah, man. After like the second round, I couldn't hold my hands up. The guys were touching me up really good. Um, Kept my head up, left that day. Told myself, man, this ain't it. Came back the next day. Yeah, I got beat up again, man. So it kept happening for a little bit until it didn't happen so much, and I started coming out on top of things. Um, but uh, about a little over a year ago, like I said, this popped up, and it's just the training for MMA and me. I don't want to say I was behind because I'm athletic, super explosive. All those things worked out in my favor, but the lack of good wrestling, the lack of jujitsu, so it was a lot to try to cluster in. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to learn three different arts.
Yep.
This made everything a lot easier for me. So I'm already can strike a little bit. I just need to work on my fundamentals and everything else. So now I'm just boxing. I don't have to worry about getting kneed in the face. I'm not catching elbows. We're not wrestling. We're not taking each other down. So even though that I had a pretty, I had fun doing what I was doing, and it's still on the list, it's still there. Um,
Hey man, Masvidal got that that bare knuckle MMA going on. I don't know if they're gonna have another show. I haven't
nah,
seen
I
one in a
think
while.
I like Masvidal. I like what he's doing, man. But if I like where I'm at. I like the things I'm doing. I love the organization. Um, and I want to stick with this. If I do an MMA fight, it's just because I got a itch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like to do a couple boxing matches, man. I'm 42. I want to live a little bit. And then I feel alive the most when I'm doing it. So spread it out as much as I can. Have fun doing it, and when I'm not having fun anymore is when I stop doing it.
that's it, man. Well, keep on punching, bro. I mean, 42 years young, bro. You
For
could, like you
sure.
said, it's a mindset. Everything's a mindset. You could keep going, man. Look at Tyson got back in there with Roy Jones. 50
Absolutely,
years old, 55
absolutely.
years old. You could do it, and he did it pretty good. So I mean, why not? Why not? It's a mental thing. I think society kind of like tries to brainwash us in a way like, when you hit a certain age, you're supposed to do this now. You're supposed
Right.
to stop doing, and it's really not that. It's based on the individual, man. I don't like being
I agree.
controlled. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when people tell me, well, better look next time, and or that maybe this wasn't meant to be. It's like, yo, you gotta make it happen. That's how it works. It's not sit around and wait. It's not gonna
Exactly.
work that way. You got to get it. So yeah, always respect that mindset. And
No,
then
for
you got
sure.
guys like Palomino in there. Just real quick, Palomino. You got a guy like him. Pound for pound, number one in bare knuckle,
Listen,
undefeated, 7-0. Man, how is that training with Palomino? How you like that?
that that dude is a machine, man. So everybody that I train with, man, they are world champions for a reason. Um, they halfway do nothing. You know what I mean? Even on their own, when they're by themselves. What Kobe said, you wasn't there when I was shooting in the gym. Listen, these guys are there before. They stay after. Um, that's what's going to separate a champion from a regular fighter, a regular person. They're not going to walk out before they get their last 5 sets of this. Palomino definitely is a super hard. All these guys, man, like I said, they are all champions for a reason. Um, and it's not something that you got to tell them nothing about. It's something that they actually do. Like, man, we'll get to the track before coach is even there, man. We're already 2 miles in just because we're warming up. like, so these guys, yeah, phenomenal athletes,
And
super inspirational.
great vibe over there too. You and Gustavo had your fight. You guys are training together now. Good John and Palomino had their fight. You know what I'm saying? They're training. It's nice to see these collaborations. I really like it. You and Gustavo were having some fun, man. I saw
Yeah.
I was doing a Cuban assassin salsa or some shit over there.
Gym life, man. It's gym life. You find the fun in it. If you're there and you're just miserable and you're going through the motions, man, you're really not no good to yourself. You're not no good to nobody else. Um, and it is like everything there, just having a good time. And music is always a big part of the Cuban culture. And that basically, man, I need to learn to speak a little bit more Spanish because I came down. I came down and yeah, man. But they're super welcoming, and I feel like family. I feel like yeah, all those things, and I'm super grateful. Like I don't think everybody takes the opportunities that they have, and I didn't miss this one. I'm glad.
What other gyms you trained down there? Did you go Fifth Street also?
I didn't go to Fish Street because um uh
I know
Chris
you.
Saros. Well,
Uh,
yeah, Julius. Listen, I love all these guys, man. They're all super cool. Like I said, the community down there is amazing. But Chris was training at Fish Street, and he was my original opponent. Um, so I mean, give him his face, give them their respect. Um, Speaking of Chris, man, he still owes me a dance. So whenever he's healed up and he's better, we need to go ahead and get that one in because I put in some work for him, and um, somebody else wore that ass whooping, so it's his turn.
let's get it, man. Let's set that fight up, man. You and Saro. That's got to be that'd be a nice fight to see, man.
I love that fight, man. I love his aggressiveness. I think I think it screams fight of the night all over it. And there's no disrespect there. Like I said, I like the dude. I like what he's done, but I think it'll make a really good fight, and that's what this sport is. It's the good fights that everyone's gonna love. It's the bloody fights that everybody's, hoo ha and about. And I want to be a part of those. I want the big names. I want the guys that nobody else wants to fight. Um, that's where the real fights are. And anybody that doesn't want that might need to rethink this sport because that's what it calls for. So.
What did you think of the BKFC 26 card overall? Because after your fight, you had some time to watch the fights as well. What did you think?
I loved it. I love the car. I love the promotion itself. We got a couple guys. I'm down there with Brian, Howard, Gogo. Like a bunch of these guys are training in sister gyms. There's the KO Zone, the Goat Shed. These gyms are like I love these gyms and I love the guys. I love everything they got going on. Even though that there's a lot of separate gyms down in Miami, man, we're all kind of connected. You know what I mean? Whether it's getting sparring time, it's just fortunately for us, we have some bigger organizations starting to put shows on down here, so we get to fight in front of our fans, in front of our hometowns, and it's super amazing.
BKFC's killing it, man. They are like, I mean, the way they promote is great. I'm starting to see, in the beginning, and it's like anything else. I get people. Everybody's a critic, but you got to give people a chance to build their business up. And I've definitely been critical of BKFC too, only based on things that they've done to me personally I didn't like, and I voiced my opinion very quickly about it. But overall, from a business perspective, very good. In the past, it was taking them a long time to start getting fights on a card and announcing fights on a card. Now they're now we're getting main events and co-mains that are being announced, at least over a month in advance, which is great. It's giving people an opportunity to watch, and tune in.
They've got to do that if they expect to have people tune in, and you want to build the hype up because. And these days, man, it's not just about going in there and fighting. It's about the media. It's about the push. It's about the razzle dazzle. So,
everybody wants sprinkles on their ice cream now, bro.
Everybody does.
You don't want that soft serve no more, man. They're throwing fucking gummy bears and sour shit on there and everything now. Everybody wants everything, So I get it.
It's all paying off, and I love the fact that I love all the bare knuckle organizations, man. I think everybody's got a space, everybody's got a place. I've never been treated badly in either one of the organizations. That's something I could definitely say, easily.
What'd you think of that triangle in BYB, man? Because that's pretty bad.
I do. I like it. I like the triangle, man. Listen, I love those guys. Those guys were always amazed to me. They treated me good. I never had no issues. I mean, I've had issues in other places with a couple other little silly promotions that, but not them. They definitely a class act. I had nothing negative to say about them all. They were, like I said, they were always good to me. And I like the triangle. I like the smaller space. It's never not worked for me. So I mean, until I got caught in a corner or something, I can't have no complaints. And it was different. It's something different, and I think that's also what the sport needs, man. When you're yourself, and you have your own formula for things, it's going to set you apart. I didn't like 3-minute rounds.
that's
so,
and they'll go 7 rounds in those championship fights. So
yeah, man. So like, when I train with these boxers, and these guys are going 10, 12, 3, 5-minute rounds. It's just, man, I'm just like, whew, I got to get my cardio up, man. So I do love where I'm at, man. I love how things are. I like the actual space now because I'm starting to move around a lot more. And it's giving me an opportunity to learn to control my breathing, when I'm in trouble. So I don't really know how that would change in the triangle because, I didn't have that great of cardio at that point, but where I'm at now is working out great for me, you know what I mean? And I look forward to continuing. We're still such a new sport, man. I'm 2 fights away from contingency the way I feel. I don't feel, like I said, I've already fought, the monster at the top of the mountain, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So whether I end up seeing him back at the top of the mountain or it's another guy, you know what I mean? That's still where I want to be. Um, I
And then
like
now you
Quentin
got
too.
the big signings, bro. You know, them big signings that coming in.
And they're
Rockwell,
const-
Hardy,
they're
you know, them two that they're rumoring that them two may go head to head for the debut fight. It could be somebody else, you know. Uh,
that'd be kind of cool, man. But throwing two guys that ain't ever felt that bare knuckle, see how that goes. And they're some big dudes, man, for sure. I met Ben at the fights, man. He seemed like a really good guy.
nice guy,
Me and
man.
Greg,
His fucking hand is
yeah,
bigger than my head. It's crazy.
yeah, man, they're big. So I'm a big guy for anybody, and these are big guys that got to drop down to 265 as a heavyweight. Me and Greg Hardy fought on the same card. His debut in MMA.
Wow.
So it was cool seeing him fight then as well. Big guys, man. I look forward to watching them. I look forward, I'm a fan. Listen, I'm not just a fighter, man. I love this sport, man. I love combat sports. I want to see people win unless they're against me. so,
Exactly.
so like I want to see, I'm happy when I see these guys do good, especially the ones that go through adversity, the ones that have got some story, and like that's always cool to see, man. So I'd like to see Greg do well, man. I'd like to see him do well. I mean, coming from the football stuff and all the adversity in the courts and all this other crap, to the UFC, you know, man, I want to see people win. Why not? Why not? Like I said, unless they're against me, I want to see them win. So,
That's what's up,
um,
man. And you
yeah,
guys, so
man.
aside from your, your injury on your hand, you're gonna be, ready to go. I'm sure in a couple months you'll probably be feeling good and ready for another
I
fight.
feel good. No, I feel good now, man.
Cool.
so, um, go ahead and finish.
No, I was gonna say like, what's your game plan? What's your team's game plan to get you back in there? Because I know BKFC is gonna have another show coming down this way. They got the Tampa one this month. Next month they're gonna be in London. Then they're coming back, and also in August they're coming back for in New Mexico. But I'm
Right.
hearing in the fall time that there's some rumors that they're going to be back here again.
They got to come back to Florida, man. We done made too much of a wave down here. Um, I'm hoping. I haven't spoke to the office yet or talked to the bosses, but September, October, like I'm not a sit at home kind of guy. I mean, I want to stay busy. Like I said, you guys got guys that nobody wants to fight, man. Yeah, send them my way because I'm with it.
Let's get it, man. My man Steve
Yeah,
Townsel in the house, coming off that big W at BKFC 26. I can't wait to see you back, man. Let's stay in touch and link up, and we'll do something cool for when your next fight's coming up.
for sure, for sure. Appreciate you having me, Doug.
Steve, pleasure, my brother. Glad we got this one in, man. Be good.
You too, man.
Peace, brother. That's my guy right there, Steve Townsel in the house. Yo, we're gonna have some more shows coming up. I kind of threw a little teaser out there. It's gonna be a new show coming out that I'm working on. It's gonna be we're gonna start filming it very soon, probably within the next 4 weeks. And we're gonna probably roll it out at the end of the year. End of 2022, it's gonna start coming out. It's gonna be in seasons. So season one's gonna be 8 episodes. We're gonna have athletes, celebrities, and influencers going head to head in a never before seen game show style podcast. You're going to love this thing. I'm going to be revealing the name. We're going to be starting to put out some promotions on social media, on YouTube. This thing's going to blow up. It's going to explode. My co-host, Catalina Hager, she's going to be on the show co-hosted with me. And if you don't know who she is, she's also the wife of Jake Hager, who's in AEW, which you're going to start seeing some wrestling things going on now. Start getting into that wrestling vibe too. You know what I'm saying? So I've been a wrestling fan since I was a kid, and why not? Maybe who knows? Maybe I gotta get in the ring and start flipping off some ropes. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So stay tuned. I got a lot of announcements coming up now. Now that we rolled out this one, a lot more are gonna be coming every week, maybe a couple a week. Who knows? But stay tuned. A lot of shit's going down. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Peace.